Hello everyone, and welcome to this, my Ertl toy collection update of Thomas and Friends. And as you can see in the foreground here, I have an original 1984 Henry the Green Engine with a paper face. It's typical. I did the video only a few days ago where I showed you Thomas, Edward, James, underneath there Percy, Toby and Bertie. And I did say in the video that I'll be looking for Paperface Henry and Paperface Gordon in their packaging, and literally a few days later Henry came up on eBay, and so yeah, I decided to get him. I wasn't going to miss out on that opportunity. Now if we have a look at the packaging design, if you look at the 1985 Thomas, it's got sort of a cutout around the smoke that is being shown there, and with Henry it's just a straight top, and that also is the same with James, as you can see here. So they're very similar, and they've also got the dark blue background with the white Ertl stamp there, as you can see, unlike the slightly later editions which have a lighter blue background and Ertl is written in a darker blue. So yeah, this is original 1984. If I just show you what it looks like, so there it is, in very, very good condition, almost mint condition I would say. There's a few dents here and there and stuff like that, but other than that it's in very good condition. So there we go, and just to show you there, so it says, if I can focus on it, 1984. Good, focus is deciding not to work, there we go, 1984. It is not the original Henry with the white side plates, which my 1984 James does have. It has just the ordinary red plate, so this is a slightly later version of it, but as you can see it's in very nice condition, and the greens are very strong actually. I didn't realise, I did own a Paperface Henry, but I never realised that the green was so deep, such an almost dark green sort of colour. So it's a very, very nice toy. And there's the front, and there's his face there, if you can just see. If we can focus in on there, there's the face there. Henry the Green Engine. And it's still got even the buffer stickers still attached. Some of them do fall off and all the rest of it, but you know, with the age of these toys, you know, and considering there's a lot of stickers planted on these engines, it is quite hard for them to stay attached after so many years, even if they are in box. But yeah, really nice condition. Really like this Henry. Really like the face. It looks a lot like the Railway Series version. And so there we go. There is Henry. So I have now added Henry to my Ertl toy Paperface collection. So it's now just Gordon that's left. I have all the rest of them here, as you can see. And what I also wanted to do very quickly, I did say that I might do it in one of my other videos. I'm going to compare the Paperface version of these engines with the later releases. So this is, I'm not going to show you all their plastic faces because you've probably seen them 100 times. But if we compare them side by side, you can see like the little details. The one on Thomas seems to be slightly longer than the one here, and the paint, the red and the yellow, is much thicker on there, and the stripe around seems to be thicker on this one than it does on there. The wheels and everything look relatively the same. I think the plastic along here is thicker than that on the yeah, it's definitely thicker. And of course, if we look here at the smoke box, that's quite, I think that is slightly longer, and I think it is slightly thicker even. If we just take that away like that, you can see that it is ever so slightly longer and probably a bit thicker. I think they might, yeah, it looks like these ones are slightly bigger than the Paperface models. So that's Thomas. Let's get Edward out here. So there's Edward, and here's the later, excuse the noise, there's the later edition Edward. Again, the blue is slightly darker the 2 is a bit bigger and thinner. Look, you can see the differences there. The differences here, that's a much thicker paint. And again, the side plates look about the same, so do the wheels. Again, I think all the smoke boxes on the plastic face editions are slightly longer. It just, yeah, they do look slightly thicker, these versions. So that's Edward. That's Edward done. So now we'll move up to my latest edition, which is Henry. And now you'll see what I mean about the green. It's a very dark green. It's like a grass green, whereas this is much more a light, vibrant green. And you can see the 3 on this one is very small in comparison to this one, which is slightly larger. So, you know, you might think that when you do buy these engines and everything, that there is going to be very little. Again, it looks smaller again. Yeah, you do think that they're not going to be that dissimilar. Very much slimmer compared to the couplings there. But there's going to be very little difference between the originals and the later editions, but you can obviously tell that there is a bit of a difference. James now, we'll put James here. Again, the smoke box does look thicker, and the gold dome looks smaller than the one on here. The paint seems to be ever so slightly, I would say, thicker. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe not. I think the number's smaller, actually. Yeah, I think the number is smaller on here, but you know, you can see there's more of a red gap in between here than there is on these ones. Working on the paintwork, differences there. So that's James. So yeah, there are definitely differences. So I'll try and get through these. And there's Percy now. And here is again, the green is it's a slightly deeper green. This is more like a lime green colour almost. And again, the 6 is much thinner and clearer looking there than it is on that one. The details other than that are about the same. I think they're about the same. Actually, I think if you look here, that whistle is slightly smaller than that one. Whereas on this version, you can see, if you look in very closely, you can see they're actually the same size. Whereas that one is different size, so there's a difference there. And again, the smoke box is quite a bit thinner. And yeah, and the couplings are different. That's slightly thicker again. And there's Percy, so there we go. Yeah, I mean, I knew there was going to be a few minor differences between the 2, but I didn't realise the differences were going to be quite so obvious. Now here's Toby. Again, because these are the earlier editions, the colours are going to be maybe slightly stronger in detail than the slightly later ones. But with Toby, I mean, he looks about the same really in design. He looks about the same. Red inside there, red inside here. The couplings are about as thick as before. I would say Toby is probably the most similar for both models. The only difference is obviously you've got the plastic face there, and you've got the paper face there. But other than that, it's virtually the same, that one. So that's probably the most similar. And last of all, we have Bertie. With the paper face and the original. So the stickers are pretty much exactly the same as you would get on both of them. The face obviously is different. This whole bit here is just one plastic face, whereas this has got a bit of plastic and then a sticker put on top. So there's Bertie. The wheels look about the same. The design is about the same. Yeah, they're virtually, other than the plastic face difference, they're pretty much exactly the same, these two. So Toby and Bertie are virtually the same here. So there we go. Now, just to show you these here, these are the express coaches. That's the front of the express coaches. The reason I'm showing you these is because for some reason I neglected to put them on my Ertl Thomas and Friends toy collection slideshow, which if you look in my playlists you'll find it. So I forgot to put them on, so just to show you that I do actually have them. And then a couple more, or a few more sealed Ertl toys. So we've got Katherine the Mountain Coach, which is originally from the Railway series. These never got released and still to this day have not been released as part of the television series. But this I got packaged, and as you can see it's number 87 if you want to read the description there. And that's the outer packaging. And then next we have Neil, which is one of the last engines to be released through Ertl. There we go, and there he is. Excuse the wobble on the camera there. And then you can see the little slip in the corner there. So there he is, all sealed, all the rest of it. Very nice little model. Again, another Railway series engine that never made it into the TV series. There we are. And last of all, we've got Diesel D7101, and there's a little bit of a scuff there where the label has been taken off, but this is fully sealed, and this is one of the rarer engines. I was lucky to find this one at all, let alone sealed, so I had to get this as soon as I saw it. I've got to say that probably this packaging was one of the better packagings. I mean, I loved this style packaging, and I really loved the ones that came after these with the sort of countryside background and everything, and then probably this packaging design, because you get a picture, and then when you flip it round on the back you also get a description of the engine and everything, which I really liked, which in between the countryside background designs and these ones in between, you just got a release of Thomas toys, and the packaging was very bland, very ordinary, a little bit like the old Take and Play designs. So there we are. That is so far my entire Thomas and Friends Ertl toy collection, sealed toys. So I will be on the hunt for Gordon, so I hope one day soon I'll be able to get him sealed with a paper face, and when I do I'll bring him out and see the differences between him and his later plastic face version. So don't forget, like, subscribe, share and comment, and I will see you folks on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Choo choo.